Okay, to start off, we have an array model problem, which is multiplying polynomials. And we have two expressions here, which would be 3x cubed minus 6x squared minus 1/2 x plus 15 times 5x to the fourth plus 1/3 x cubed minus 3x squared plus 12x minus 7. And what the array model allows you to do is place the expressions on a grid, which makes for easier multiplication because you're multiplying one term by the other term and multiplying them all through. And the multiplication is simpler, and it allows you to visualize what you're doing, and then you'll just be adding the like terms at the end instead of multiplying out the full expression by each expression. It makes it a lot easier. The next step we're going to do is we're going to write both of the expressions either on the horizontal or the vertical part of the grid. So we'll start off with 3x to the third minus 6x squared minus 1/2 x plus 15. And it's kind of nice to write the subtraction or positive symbols, more so the subtraction, just so you remember that you're multiplying by a negative. And then we're going to write the other half of the expression, which would be 5x to the fourth, and then 1/3 x to the third, and then we have negative 3x squared, and then 12x, and finally minus 7. The next step would be to multiply the first term by the whole entire expression of the other that you're multiplying by. So let's start off with 5x to the fourth. We're going to multiply 5x to the fourth times 3x to the third. And you have to remember to use the product rule, which would be when you multiply these, you're going to be adding the exponents, and then you'll be multiplying the bases. And the bases, or the base would be 5x to the fourth, and then 3 and 3x to the third. So you're going to get 15. See, you get 15x to the seventh, and then you're going to multiply 5x to the fourth times negative 6x squared, which will give you negative 30x to the sixth, and then you are going to multiply negative 1/2 x times 5x to the fourth, and basically multiplying by a half would be dividing by 2, so you're going to get negative 2.5x to the fifth, and then finally multiplying 5x to the fourth times 15, you get 75x to the fourth. Okay, now instead of wasting your time, I actually filled in the rest of the chart for you, and you go through the same process, starting with 1/3 x to the third, and then multiplying it through the top again and going down, and you would actually get all these terms. And when you look at it, you can now see that you're going to have to combine the like terms, and basically they're all going to be in diagonals. So you'll see you have 7x, which is the highest exponent, and that will be right here. And then you're going to add the other like terms, which would be here with the 6's, and then through here with the 5's, and it's going to go down, as you can see, in diagonals. Now, once you look at the table after, you can see that they're in diagonal, and what you want to do is combine your like terms, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to have 15x to the seventh, and that's going to be by itself because there's no other term like it, and then you're going to want to multiply, or actually add all the other terms, so 6x, and this should actually be a 30x to the 6, and then that will be minus 29x, and then you're going to want to go through all the terms that are alike, which is basically that has an x to the fifth, an x to the fourth, x to the third, x to the second, x, all those with just one x should be added, and there's another x that should be there, and you're going to get the sums of all those. And after you get the sums of those, you're going to want to write those in descending order. Descending order means you're going to write the term with the highest exponent to the left, and then the next highest after that, and so forth. So you'll start with the 15x to the 7th, and then you'd have 29x to the 6th, or negative 29x to the 6th, minus 13 1/2 x to the 5th, 120 plus 128, and 5 6 x to the 4th, minus 86 1/2 x to the 3rd, minus 9x squared, plus 183 1/2 x minus 105. This is what your final answer should look like in descending order. 15x to the 7th minus 29x to the 6th minus 13 1/2 x to the 5th plus 128 and 5 6x to the 4th minus 86 and 1/2 x to the 3rd minus 9x squared plus 183 1/2 x minus 105. And just a good things to remember when finally finishing this up and actually going through the process is the product rule, adding the exponents when you're multiplying and multiplying the terms, and then adding your like terms together, and finally placing your final answer in descending order, so the highest exponent to the left and the lowest on the right. I hope this was helpful, and may all your math answers be great.